You ever notice how we get upset not really by what's happening, but because what's happening doesn't match the story we've already written in our heads? Well, today we're going to explore that gap, that kind of fascinating and often really frustrating space between the world as it is and the world we think it should be.
No, really, think about it for a second. When was it? Maybe it was this morning with a coworker or yesterday when a friend didn't call you back. Just hold on to that feeling for a minute, because it's actually the key to understanding this huge mental habit that we all have.
Okay, so let's dive right in. That feeling of irritation, it's not just random. It's actually the direct result of a pretty creative process that's always happening inside your mind, and it's all born from our brain's need to find order in, well, everything.
I mean, from the moment we wake up, our minds are just busy, building these little mental blueprints. We've got one for how traffic is supposed to flow, another one for how our morning coffee should taste, and of course, the most detailed ones are for how other people should act. It's just our brain's way of trying to make a really complex world predictable. We're inventing reality around us all the time, and we don't even know we're doing it. And this whole thing plays out in this surprisingly simple, almost automatic cycle. First, we create that perfect picture in our head. Second, reality, you know how it is, goes completely off script. And third, boom, we get frustrated, irritated, or just plain angry. It's like this little three-step dance we do constantly. So this cycle, it isn't just some quirky thing our brain does. Nope, it has a real emotional cost. It's honestly the source of so much of our day-to-day friction and disappointment. And this right here, this gets to the very heart of it. We get annoyed not because of who a person is, but because they're failing to play the role we mentally assign them. You know, a role they never even auditioned for in the first place.
So the crucial thing to get here is that our anger isn't even really aimed at the actual person standing in front of us. It's aimed at the gap between them and the fictional character we just made up. The whole conflict is internal. It's just a battle with our own creation.
All right, this brings us to a huge turning point. The entire cycle of frustration we've just been talking about, it all hinges on one single massive assumption that we almost never question. But challenging it, oh, that changes everything.
Just let that sink in for a second. Is anyone, your boss, your friend, a complete stranger, are they actually obligated to conform to the secret blueprint that you've created for them in your mind?
And the answer, of course, is no, they're not. And the moment you truly, deeply accept that, the second you realize that everyone is totally free to be themselves and not the version you invented, well, that's the moment you start to become free from all that anger and disappointment.
This realization is really what puts us on the path to peace. I mean, if the problem is our own self-made expectations, then the solution has to be learning how to just let them go.
You know, a great way to think about this is forcing into frames. Just imagine you're holding a tiny little picture frame, and you're desperately trying to squeeze this vast, messy, unpredictable world into it. It's never going to work, right? It's just an exhausting and impossible task. So here's the choice we face every single day. On one side, you have a life lived inside these tight, rigid frames, and that, well, it pretty much always leads to anger and disappointment. But on the other side, you've got a boundless world, one you're not trying to control. And that world leads to peace, acceptance, and a real sense of freedom. This is the ultimate promise here. When we finally release our grip, when we stop demanding that the world and all the people in it have to fit into our neat little boxes, we don't get chaos, we get peace. We get a mind that is just as open and boundless as reality itself.
Which brings us to the final question, and this one is really for you. Think back to that person who was irritating you. The conflict wasn't actually with them, was it? It was with the frame you built around them. So what do you think would happen if you just decided to put that frame down?